carrying that goods and passenger trains along the island. Sometimes engines do dirty work. Will takes the garbage along the dirty work. And also there are engines that don't do dirty work, like take farm or coal to the farm. There was one engine that did too much work. That is Dunkin. Dunkin and another engine on the door. The next day, Dunkin had to wait for the fat controller to give him a job. At last he arrived. I want you to go collect some freight cars to the quarry. The quarry? Dunkin said. He was confused. But the quarry is dangerous. Stuff and nonsense, said Sir Topham Hatt. I want you to go collect it, or else. But really useful engines. Don't argue, Dunkin. I want you to go now. Then Arthur arrived. Look, no Sir Topham Hatt is wanting you to collect the cars to go to the quarry, but don't you think he's gone too far for giving you too much jobs? Duncan just said nothing and went away. Soon, the freight train was coupled up to Dunkin, and Dunkin went away. But Dunkin and his driver didn't know that there was some rocks that fell onto the tracks. It had almost been like an aftershock. When Dunkin arrived at the quarry, he gasped, and then he crashed into the rocks. Percy seen Dunkin's accident. Dunkin, are you alright? Yes, but I really need some help. If you'd help me. Well, I like to help, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to tell Sir Topham Hatt to close the line. And Percy went away. Wait, Percy! Don't go! A little well. At least nothing could go wrong. Then there was trouble. After a few days after Duncan's accident, he heard rocks. Before long, Duncan was stranded. He cried. What's going to happen? He didn't know. He could just stand there helplessly on the rails, crying, "Help! Help, I tell you!" But it was no use. Duncan was there stranded, as he was dirty, and his fire had went out. Bother that fire, he said. Soon Thomas arrived to clear the mess and bring Duncan on the trucks. But he was still dirty. Anyways, the fat controller ordered to make him clean up himself. but they forgot to change the switch, to change the coupling rods. When Thomas left, something very silly indeed happened. And this is where the silly part comes. Soon, Duncan was back on the tracks. And Thomas came back on the rails. Goodness me. That track controller told me not to get me a lot of words anywhere. Or else I would get me a little roof. And he was glad he did have not. He was glad he didn't have enough jobs for one day.